from the WNKY studios in South Central Kentucky, this is SoKY Sunrise on NBC 40.
Good morning, SoKY Sunrisers. Happy Friday! Today is January 24th, 2020. I'm your host, Tej Joshi.
And I'm Christy Stewart.
Now, Christy, we've got a really fun show planned for everyone at home today, so here's just a sneak peek of what's coming up later on in our show.
It's not exactly fair that women have to pay products that, we're required to have, and for it to be taxed.
I want to end this thing sooner rather than later. I don't want to turn it into a circus.
It would be corn dog flavor because growing up, I actually almost died choking on a corn dog. So it doesn't bring back great memories, but I still love to eat corn dogs.
So having a corn dog flavored ice cream would allow you to eat that corn dog flavor without having to worry about an actual corn dog.
Exactly, yeah.
So, Christy, I want to start this morning with a new social media trend or challenge, and this one's being credited to Dolly Parton, actually.
Okay.
So it's actually a fun one. You can see she's going on social media and, getting pictures that represent her different social media personalities from different outlets. Got the LinkedIn one, the very professional one, Facebook one, fun, cozy with friends, family. Instagram, of course, you want to look nice and artsy, make yourself look cool. And then Tinder, a little provocative maybe. So if you look at it, Chris, this is actually me right now. Our producer Morgan made this one for me. Got our SoKY Sunrise logo on LinkedIn. We got Facebook, me and my friends. Instagram, that's back when I used to live in Miami. Now, our producer Morgan, who made this, knows we shouldn't have put this on because that Tinder picture's from when my experience on The Real Housewives of New York, which I'm not supposed to talk about on TV, but that was an enjoyable experience. Thank you for making that, Morgan. So are you going to partake in this trend, you think?
I don't know. I might. I'd have to go digging through some pictures and find some stuff, though.
I think it's fun, though.
Yeah, it is kind of fun. It's a nice, funny trend going on.
It's an interesting thing, a way to look at different social medias and how we treat all of them differently. I know you're actually not on Instagram yet, right?
I am not.
Are we going to be able to convince you to ever get on? I mean, it's like you said, it's that fun person that makes your life look so cool, and you got a cool life.
I do, and I do travel a lot and stuff, and I always say, I take tons of pictures all the time, so I would probably have a great Instagram, but I don't know why. I've never made one.
Well, you're going to have to get on the social media trend, but I guess before you do that, you're going to have to make an Instagram, so you have an Instagram picture to pull from for the trend.
I guess so.
Now, Christy, this morning was not as cold as it has been. I mean, it was a little drizzly, a little wet, but I was actually kind of feeling it. It was like in the 40s. It was a little warm. It was nice for me. I liked it.
It was a little bit warmer out there for this morning, and we are going to be seeing those temperatures staying about the same throughout the day today, just warming up a handful of degrees. But we do still have those scattered rain showers that are continuing throughout this morning, and then another wave later on today. That's why our dog walkers forecast dog of the day, Suban, says make sure that you grab that rain gear as you're headed out for those walks. Now let's check in with Josh to see what's happening in our News Express.
Thanks, Christy. Our top story this morning. Bowling Green police announced yesterday an indictment in a double homicide that occurred in the city in December of 2018. According to a news release, 38-year-old Juan Paulo Flores Gerada was indicted by a grand jury in Warren County, and a warrant was issued for his arrest. Flores Gerada is already in federal custody in Grayson County on unrelated charges. He'll be transferred to Bowling Green once he has completed his federal sentence, according to the news release. 62-year-old Dolores Stacker and 53-year-old Karen Burks were found dead inside an apartment on the 2100 block of Rock Creek Drive on December 11, 2018. The cause of their deaths has never been released. The head coach of the Bowling Green Junior High School baseball team is under arrest, charged with a crime involving a minor. 28-year-old Levance Anderson was arrested yesterday at Parker Bennett Curry Elementary School, where he also worked as an instructional assistant. He's charged with unlawful use of electronic means originating or received to induce a minor to engage in sexual or other prohibited activities. According to a news release from the Kentucky Attorney General's office, Anderson admitted to communicating with a person he believed to be a minor about sex acts and to sending sexually explicit images to that undercover detective over the internet. Anderson was hired in August 2019. He's currently suspended from all district responsibilities pending the investigation. He's being held in the Warren County Regional Jail. State legislators have filed a bill that would exempt feminine hygiene products from sales taxes in the Commonwealth. WNKY's Krista Garrison reports.
part of a national movement to stop what people call the pink tax, which is taxation on feminine hygiene products, which are surprisingly not exempt from sales tax.
This is another male-dominated system to actually control women and women's reproductive rights. There are other things that they need to actually tax, and our ability to control our health and what we need in order to function as healthy females is not something that they need to be, putting taxes on.
The reasoning behind the bill stems from other non-taxable items in the state, such as textbooks, tombstones, and any prescribed drug.
For women who are in the years when they are going through menstrual cycles, it's not an option not to have feminine protection.
I think it's a great bill to be introduced. It's not exactly fair that women have to pay products that, we're required to have, and for it to be taxed.
I've had great response to this from young women in South Central Kentucky as well. This has been a very popular thing. Lots of people have written to me and contacted me through social media urging me to sign on to this bill. I'm very proud to support it.
A lot of people are having trouble putting food on the table, and to take the tax off of those items would be a big deal for some folks. Some folks it would not, but if it meant the difference in eating and cleanliness, you would probably buy food. So that's a good idea.
Thanks, Krista. Well, Krista, this morning we had some pretty relaxing rain to greet us as we woke up, and honestly, if it stays like this today, not too heavy, not too light, I think I would pretty much enjoy that for the day.
Well, I guess you're in luck then. We are going to be continuing to see some of those lighter rain showers throughout the day today. That's what our radar looks like right now. When we can expect this rain to come to an end, I'll have those details right after this quick commercial break. Welcome back to SoKY Sunrise. It is 6:09 a.m. We're starting off this morning very dreary outside. We have a lot of cloud cover, and we do still have some rain showers that are working their way through South Central Kentucky. So make sure that you are grabbing that rain gear as you're headed out the door this morning. Currently, we do have those temperatures that are much warmer than they were the past couple of days. Right now, we have those temperatures that are currently sitting in the mid-40s, which is 13 degrees warmer than we were yesterday morning. You'll definitely be noticing that as you do walk outside, but again, we do have those rain showers to look out for. So mainly we do still have a lot of rain that's just off to the east of I-65, still seeing some of those light sprinkles. When I came into work this morning, there was a little bit of fog and also some mist that was happening, so just be mindful of that as you are headed out the door this morning. So far, rain totals that we've seen, mainly those areas that are off to the west of I-65, that's where we've seen about ½ of an inch of accumulation, but along and to the east of I-65, that's where the heavier rain has been falling for majority of the last 24 hours, and that's still what we're seeing for this morning. Those areas have seen about an inch of rainfall so far. Now, as we head throughout the rest of this morning, we're going to be continuing to see those rain showers continuing. Then as we get towards the midday hours, we should be able to catch a few hours of a nice little dry break from about 10 to 11 a.m. and continuing until about 1 or 2 p.m. Then we'll start to see another round of those scattered showers working their way across the region as we get into the later parts of this afternoon and continuing through this evening. Once we get into tonight, we should be seeing drier conditions, but we can't rule out having a few sprinkles or potentially seeing a few snow flurries happening for the overnight hours as well as into Saturday morning, but doesn't look like anything in terms of accumulation, so that is the good news for us. A little bit cooler for Saturday, then we do warm back up into those mid-40s, and we stay there as we head throughout next week. So as we get into next week, or actually as we get into Sunday, I should mention that we do have a low pressure system that will be traveling just down to our south. So with that, it looks like we could potentially be seeing a few rain showers as we get into the afternoon and evening hours. Doesn't look like a lot of rain, but we are right at the edge of that rain band. So just be mindful if you do see a couple of showers that's possible for Sunday. Then we should be drying out pretty decently for your Monday, maybe a couple of stray showers or flurries here and there. And then the same situation really as we continue throughout the rest of next week, as we have a very unsettled weather pattern that's going to be continuing throughout next week. Now for the day today, your commuter forecast, again, having those those rain showers continuing. Should be catching a nice little dry break in the midday hours for a few hours for today. Temperatures will be able to warm up a few degrees up into those up to the upper 40s. As we get into tonight, we will be seeing those temperatures dropping down to 34 degrees, and those rain showers and snow showers will be coming to an end. Again, doesn't look like anything in terms of accumulation if we do see some snow flurries. We're also going to be getting a little bit breezy with those gusts up to 20 miles per hour for tonight. As we get into Saturday, we are going to be a little bit cooler, those temperatures in the lower 40s. Then we rebound to the mid 40s. Could be seeing a few rain showers out there as we get into the later parts of Sunday, but nothing too impressive. And then just a few scattered showers here and there possible as we get throughout next week, but staying with a lot of cloud cover. Stay tuned. We'll be back with a special interview right after this commercial break.
Welcome back to SoKY Sunrise, coming this Sunday right here on WNKY NBC 40. We'll have a special edition of American Ninja Warrior vs. the World, and this morning we are super lucky to be joined by two of the people that make that show happen, Akbar Bajabiamila and Zuri Hall. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Of course, this is American Ninja Warrior vs. the World, so an international competition. And with the Olympics coming up in the summer, would you want to see an American Ninja Warrior type event ever happen in the Olympics?
Well, this is a perfect opportunity to kind of showcase the talent that is the Ninja Warrior phenomenon, especially on an Olympic year. 2020, we know that the Olympics will be in Tokyo, Japan, but we know in Las Vegas we're going to have our world competition, USA versus the world. Like you mentioned, we'll have Team Australia, Team Europe, and of course, the defending champion from the world competition from the previous year, Team USA. We are super excited about this competition. But, you know, the fact that you think about Ninja Warrior starting off as this small little niche sporting community has now grown into this global phenomenon. So I think we're super excited to be a part of this world competition.
Of course, like you said, it's a global phenomenon, and I really want to understand the team dynamics with Team USA, Team Europe, and now Team Australia. Do the ninjas build a stronger team unit? Is there more camaraderie than a normal competition?
I would say the camaraderie is definitely already there. What's really special about the ninja community is the fact that this is a year-round thing. You know, people don't cut off contact when they finish running the course. They're working together in the gym, they're growing together, they're coaching each other. So if anything, I feel like this special is really gonna highlight the spirit of American Ninja Warrior and what these teams are like all year round in their local communities. So I would say that's probably the most exciting thing about it.
Well, absolutely, and you'll see it too. You see the difference back and forth, and you'll see the same thing that we see here in America with American Ninja Warrior. You'll see with the same athletes from Australia Ninja Warrior and the ones from the UK Ninja Warrior and all the other countries that are involved for Team Europe. But I think it's a pretty special time, especially when you think about Team Australia and everything that they've gone through, the devastation with the wildfires in Australia. I think it's a perfect opportunity for them to showcase their strength and their resolve to compete in this competition. It is going to be, I think, to me, one of the biggest years for American Ninja Warrior, just because we get to see all of the athletes from around the world and see what it looks like.
Absolutely, like you said, the competition is a great way to bring people together through sports. And now here's a question that a lot of fans are wondering. With this special competition, are you going to have any new additions to the course, anything fun?
Well, you know we're always doing something crazy. It's American Ninja Warrior. Look, American Ninja Warrior is not just trying to pass out $1 million every single season. We know that we're going to make the athletes earn it. And last year, Drew Dressel earned it. He was the last man standing. He was the guy to get up all the way to the top, hit that buzzer up Mount Midoriyama. And I think about Drew Dressel, and I think about how hungry he was in that competition. There's so many other athletes now that are looking at Drew and saying, you know what, Drew did it. I can do it. And it used to be this thing where it was like, look, we didn't know, but now we've got $2 million winners on American Ninja Warrior. And this year, we're going to be in new locations. We're going to be in Washington, D.C. for the very first time indoors. We're going to be at the Dome in St. Louis for the very first time. That's about 4.5 hours, too, from Bowling Green. So we expect to see a big turnout from Bowling Green.
We need a caravan.
we need to see a big turnout from Bowling Green. But it's going to be special. And, of course, we always start the competition here in Los Angeles. So season 12, we're going to be back, ready for competition, ready to have these ninjas show up.
For sure. Our drive to St. Louis isn't that bad. I actually just did that drive myself a couple weekends ago.
And for those
Good,
who aren't familiar, where we're going to be competing or having the show, it's at the Dome. It used to be the birthplace, or was the birthplace, of the greatest show on turf. So it's not going to be any turf in there. It's just going to be us, American Ninja Warrior. I got to come up with a new term for that. Greatest show on something. I got to work on that one.
Well, maybe we could just call it the greatest ninjas on turf. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. You too.
You can watch the special edition of American Ninja Warrior this Sunday. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to SoKY Sunrise. Joining me today is Butch Patrick, who is in Bowling Green ahead of his performance, or just, showing off everything he knows about the whole industry of conventions and horror and TV, everything at this weekend's Vet City Con. I gave you a lot of qualifiers there, Butch, so it's great to have you in studio.
Hey, where's my Oscar?
well, but it's true. You do know a lot about TV, horror, everything. But what I really want to focus on to start, though, is you've been doing a lot of conventions around the country. You've been traveling a lot. You're here in Bowling Green, which we're really glad to have you. Tell me what it's like to go from convention to convention, talk about your career. What's that like on the road like?
Well, it's funny. This whole thing started about 35 years ago with San Diego Comic-Con, and I attended, and the Munsters has been a very family-friendly, evergreen type of show that's always been around in syndication. And because it was monsters, and because it's classic TV, and because it's memorabilia and toys, it fits into a lot of different categories. But when I bought the Munster coach, then I really started doing what I love, which is automotive stuff, hence the Corvette Museum I'm going to be appearing at here in Bowling Green. So I've had a wonderful time. The fans are great. That's what really keeps me going. Is you go to a city and people come out to a table and they smile. They feel that they know you. You're part of their family because they've been watching you. And how can you not enjoy that when you've been part of someone's life and brought a lot of joy to them?
Just an overall fun, engaging experience. Now, you mentioned to me before with the interview that actually you're a Corvette driver yourself, and this is actually was your very first time at the Corvette Museum where Vet City Con is. Is that something that's important to you? You feel a connection to the town because of yourself being a Corvette driver?
Well, yeah, and the fact that the Munster Mansion, had a dungeon, and the museum had a big hole in the ground. Sorry, had to go there.
They're a little bit similar. A slight difference there.
But no, seriously though, it's funny. I'm going to do a segment. I have a show called Coast to Coast where I do YouTube channels. I was born in '53. The Corvette was born in '53. I've had Corvettes. In fact, I had a '69 427 that I should have never sold, but of course, as a kid, you never know these things. The gas crunch came in, and gas went to 70 cents a gallon, so I got rid of it. But all in all, no, I'm really looking forward to meeting the people, and the Munsters is just a great show to be part of. Great cast, great.
And you're mentioning the Munsters, and we have to talk about it. We have to go back to the show itself. What's something that you can tell us? It's something that if you just watch the show, we wouldn't know about, but a little behind-the-scenes insight that you can provide our viewers.
Oh, behind the scenes. Well, Universal did they were the monster studio, and the Munsters was done like a little movie. We were shot on film. The lighting, the special effects, the set dressing, everything was done like a movie. So it really has a good quality about it. It's very quality driven. But what I'm excited about is in my trailer that I carry my Munster coach in, I have created a Munster escape room. So people that come out and see me this weekend this is the first stop of the escape room where you actually go in and you solve some puzzles that feature Munster-esque type situations.
That sounds really fun. So it's actually coming up this weekend. You brought the trailer with you, a fun escape room that's all Munster themed. So tell me about some of the specifics of that trailer.
It's called 1313 Mockingbird Maze, which obviously that was our address, 1330 Mockingbird Lane. But there will be the living room scene. There's 3 puzzles in the living room, the organ, the mantle. They're around the corner. There's a grandpa's laboratory. And then, of course, finishing it off, the 5th puzzle features Spot under the stairs. That's all I can say. You have to come out and check it out.
It should be a ton of fun. Butch will be at Vet City Con tomorrow, where you can see his trailer, you can talk to him, and you can have a lot of fun with him like we just did. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Butch.
My pleasure.
All right, well, everybody stay tuned. We'll be back with more SoKY Sunrise coming up after this break.
Live from the WNKY studios in South Central Kentucky, this is SoKY Sunrise on NBC 40.
Welcome back to SoKY Sunrise. The time is now 6:28 a.m. As always, thank you so much for joining us to start off your Friday. Today is January 24th, which means we are now just 6 months away from the start of the Summer Olympics, which of course will be here on NBC. This summer starting on July 24th and running through August 9th, WNKY NBC 40 will be your home for the Olympics. Make sure to catch all of your favorite stars like Simone Biles and Katie Ledecky as they look to bring home the gold for the U.S. But for now, as we look forward to the summer, let's go ahead and send it over to meteorologist Chrissy Stewart for a look at our winter forecast.
Thank you, Tej. Well, we are starting off this morning with quite a bit of cloud cover outside, and it actually looks like we are starting to see some fog developing in our sky cam in the wake of some of those rain showers. So just be mindful of that. You might be coming across some patches of fog, a few of which could potentially become dense at times. So make sure that you're grabbing that rain gear and probably leaving just a couple minutes earlier for work. Temperature is not too bad this morning, currently sitting at 47 degrees at the Bowling Green Airport, and across the rest of the viewing area, those temperatures are currently sitting right about those mid to upper 40s. We'll be able to warm up a handful of degrees throughout the later parts of today. Here's a look at that rain that we're seeing right now, and we're going to be continuing to see those scattered showers as we head throughout the rest of this morning. Should be able to catch a few hours of a dry break in the midday hours, and then another round for this evening. Now let's check in with Josh to see what's happening in our News Express.
Thanks, Christy. Happening around the nation this morning. Health officials in Texas are investigating a suspected case of the coronavirus in a student at Texas A&M. Officials at Brazos County Health Department were contacted by a local hospital after treating a patient who was quickly identified as having the coronavirus. Staff were aware of public health guidance on the coronavirus and quickly recognized that the patient met the criteria for testing. The patient is being kept isolated at home with mild symptoms while the precautionary testing is done. Officials have described the immediate health risk to the campus community as low. Meanwhile, overseas, China has closed off a city of over 11 million people due to the virus. Wuhan shut down all forms of transportation in and out of the city on Thursday. Normally bustling streets, shopping malls, restaurants, and other public spaces in Wuhan were eerily quiet. The illnesses from a newly identified coronavirus first appeared last month in Wuhan, and the vast majority of mainland China's nearly 600 cases have been in the city. The city is also building a new 1,000-bed hospital in just 6 days, which will be dedicated to treating patients with the virus. And back here at home, President Donald Trump plans to speak at today's March for Life rally. This will be the first time in the 47-year history of the rally on the Washington Mall that a president has attended the event. In 2018 and 2019, Mr. Trump spoke via video. Previous presidents also sent messages to the marches, but didn't physically attend. Vice President Pence was the first VP to speak to the anti-abortion advocates in 2017. Event organizers are praising the president for what they call his consistent championing of life. Speaking of President Trump, tonight, Democrats wrap up their impeachment case against him. Today, they'll focus on the second article he's charged with, obstruction of Congress. Tracy Potts has our preview this morning from Capitol Hill.
Did President Trump prevent Congress from investigating his actions with Ukraine by failing to produce documents and blocking White House witnesses? That's the focus of today's arguments.
This conduct is not America first. It is Donald Trump first.
On Thursday, House managers used Republicans' own words from the Clinton impeachment.
Doesn't even have to be a crime.
To argue that President Trump abused his power, demanding that Ukraine investigate Joe Biden and his son.
President Trump asked for the investigation into Biden based on a made-up theory that no one agreed with. No one.
If you find him guilty, you must find that he should be removed.
President Trump's legal team up tomorrow hinting that Hunter Biden's business in Ukraine will be part of their defense.
They kind of opened the door for that response, so we'll determine as a defense team the appropriate way to do it.
Senator Lindsey Graham says no to the Bidens or any witnesses.
I want to end this thing sooner rather than later. I don't want to turn it into a circus.
Democrats believe some Republicans are convinced the president is guilty.
It may have planted the first seed in their minds that, yes, perhaps the president did something very wrong here.
In my district, they're tuning this out.
The other side is set to start tomorrow. Congressman Adam Schiff angered some Republicans and even caused the Chief Justice to jump into the conversation by suggesting Republicans were part of the cover-up. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Thanks, Tracy. Well, Christy, I have to say I really enjoy seeing the fog. I've actually always liked it as a kid because it reminds me of if I was in a horror film, which I guess is timely with Vet CityCon this weekend. Please tell me we get to keep some of that fog later today.
Well, it'll depend on how much we see in terms of those rain showers. We are starting to see some fog developing in the wake of that rain, but we do have some more rain that's on the way. When exactly we can expect the rain to be done, I'll have those details coming up in a couple minutes. Stay tuned. Welcome back to SoKY Sunrise. It is 6:36 a.m. We are starting to see a few dry breaks happening from those rain showers, but we do still have a good amount of rain, so make sure that you are grabbing that rain gear as you're headed out the door this morning. And you might need to leave a few extra minutes earlier as we do have some fog that is developing in some of those dry spots that we do have for this morning. We're still going to be seeing some more rain, though, continuing throughout the day today. Right now, temperatures are pretty comfortable outside, currently sitting in those mid-40s, which is 13 degrees warmer than we were this time yesterday morning. A very nice warm up for us. Temperatures will only be climbing a handful of degrees throughout the day today, as again, still staying with rain showers and staying with cloud cover. Here's a better look at those rain showers that we do have happening right now. So a lot more of that rain is happening just off to the east of I-65, but we are still seeing some sprinkles along and to the west of I-65, and that's what we can expect as we head throughout the rest of this morning. Continued rain showers. So far, we have seen a decent amount of rain. Areas to the west of I-65, you've seen about half of an inch of rain, and then along and to the east of I-65, that's where we've seen some of those heavier pockets of rain and more continued rain showers. So they've come up with totals of about 1 inch of rainfall so far for today. And we're going to be continuing to see those rain showers continuing throughout this morning, but as we get towards the midday hours, we should be able to catch a nice, decent dry break for a few hours. So it looks like that dry break will be starting for us by about 10 to 11 a.m. and continuing until about 2 to 3 p.m. Then once we get into the later parts of this afternoon and into this evening, we'll start to see another round of those scattered showers. That will be continuing into the earlier parts of tonight, and then after midnight, we should be pretty decently dry, but we can't rule out having a couple of sprinkles or a couple of flurries popping up throughout the rest of the night as well as into tomorrow morning. Doesn't look like anything in terms of accumulation, though, so that is the good news. We'll be a little bit cooler for the day on Saturday, still holding on to a lot of cloud cover, but again, should be mostly dry. Staying pretty decently dry into Sunday, but now a few models are hinting at us possibly seeing a few rain showers. So there's a low pressure system that's moving just down to our south, and with that, we could be seeing a couple of isolated to maybe scattered showers developing throughout the second half of the day on Sunday, but it doesn't look like anything that's too concerning, and we're right at the edge of that rain shield. So we could either be seeing some showers or we could be staying dry, but again, doesn't look like it's going to be ruining any plans that you should be having for your Sunday. So that's the good news with that. Then we are going to be returning to a mostly dry weather pattern, and again, still holding on to a lot of cloud cover as we head throughout next week, as we have multiple different waves of energy that will be making their way through the atmosphere over the course of the next 7 days or so. Now for the day today, we are looking at those high temperatures reaching about 49 degrees, so warming up just a few more degrees from where we are this morning. Seeing those scattered showers again, catching a little bit of a dry break about 10, 11 a.m. until about 2 to 3 p.m. Then another round of those scattered showers. That will be coming to an end throughout tonight, but at the tail end of this system, we could be seeing a couple of snow flurries popping up as well. Nothing in terms of accumulation. A little bit breezy, those wind gusts up to about 20 miles per hour for tonight, and that overnight low in the mid-30s. A little bit cooler for Saturday, high temperatures in the lower 40s. Then we do warm back up into those mid to upper 40s for next week, and we should be staying mostly dry after we get into Sunday and into next week, but a couple of pop-up showers here and there are a possibility. Now it's time to clear the shelters. Let's meet our lovely pet of the day.
Thanks so very much. I'm Max Winnitz here at the Bowling Green Warren County Humane Society. I'd like you to meet our pet of the day. This is Leroy. Leroy, as you can see right off the bat, is a beagle. He is 3.5 months old. Doesn't seem to like the camera all that much, so I'm going to step back. Interesting situation. Leroy, from my understanding, was purchased online. The folks who purchased him could not take care of him any longer, so he was surrendered to the shelter. He is wonderful, extremely sweet, as you can see, loves to be held, and I'd love it for you to stop on by and adopt him. He deserves a great home, especially with what he's gone through so far in his very short life. So stop on by the shelter today, come see Leroy and adopt. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to SoKY Sunrise, our Sunrise Spotlight guests. This morning are Hannah Hadley and Wesley Jarvo here to talk about an upcoming set of performances. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
So help me understand, it's a series of one-act comedies, right? And you're the director?
Yes, that's right.
And you're one of the actors. So tell us about how it all came together. A series of one-act comedies, what's going to be happening, who's going to be in them?
Okay, so Watch Your Language is, like you said, a set of sort of sketch comedies. They range from like 5 minutes to about 20 minutes, and they're all a little bit different and a little bit weird.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. I like weird plays. That's fun.
Yeah, so for example, one of Wesley's shows is called Words, 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 which some of you may know is a quote from Hamlet, and it involves 3 monkeys
typing into oblivion, and sooner or later they'll produce Hamlet, and
and then all the works of Shakespeare.
And then pretty much.
So what does it take to put together a series of one acts? Of course, you know, it's a little bit different than one long play or musical. What's the process behind it as a director? Do you have to take a different approach?
Yes, especially with scheduling and casting, because we have a cast of 13, but there are 26 characters to be covered. So most play 1 to 3 characters. Wes has 3 characters.
I do have 3 characters.
So you're literally juggling a lot of different hats.
Yeah, just about.
And, you know, finding times that all of the cast members that need to be together for that scene can all get together, scheduling-wise. And we started rehearsals in November, and we had rehearsals 2 or 3 nights a week, and now that showtime's coming up, we're rehearsing every
a lot more
night.
often.
So another staple of local theaters, of course, not just playing multiple characters, but the characters and the cast themselves are involved with props and sets. So what's it been like, you know, really doing the whole gambit, the whole role in the theater? Has it been something exciting for you to be involved with different aspects of production?
It's definitely been really exciting watching it all come together. It's a piece of art that we're putting together, and so you know, putting up the walls and setting the stage is really important for a show, and I really think it's going to be great.
Now, like we were talking about before, it's a series of one acts, which I'm really, really excited to see myself. Now, if people want to come see them or, you know, see a couple of them, is it all performed on one night, or are they performed over just a couple different nights?
It's a few different nights. We have 4 nights of performances, and every show is performed every night.
So you can come just one night and make sure you see all the performances.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice and fun. So how can people get tickets, and where can they see you guys perform?
We are performing January 30th through February 2nd at the Roxy Theater in Franklin. And you can visit our website at www.fountainsquareplayers.org and like us on Facebook. Tickets are available online and at the door.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. I wish you the best of luck in your performances. Like you guys say in your industry, break a leg.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Of course, and those one acts should be a ton of fun. That does it for this morning's Sunrise Spotlight, brought to you by Life Skills. We'll be back in just 2 minutes. Welcome to this week's SoKY Speaks. This week we're in downtown Bowling Green and we're learning about people's favorite ice cream flavors between vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, and some of the more adventurous flavors. There's a lot of different options. So what is your favorite ice cream flavor ever, and why is that your favorite?
I love Oreo ice cream flavor because growing up I loved eating Oreo cookies.
I'd have to say birthday cake because it reminds me of my favorite time of year, my birthday.
I like strawberry ice cream because I don't know, I just think it's just has more of a flavor, good taste to it.
I guess my favorite ice cream flavor would have to be butterscotch. And that would be because that was my mom's favorite, and I guess it was just a hand-me-down.
Chocolate, because I'm a big chocolate fan. My favorite ice cream flavor is coffee, because I'm a coffee nut.
So my favorite ice cream flavor is from Grater's, which is kind of up in Cincinnati area. It's the black raspberry chocolate chip.
My favorite flavor would be chocolate chip cookie dough because I've always loved to eat like raw cookie dough. I know that sounds weird, but it's always been my favorite flavor.
Probably Rocky Road, just because it's an interesting one that it's not a normal like chocolate or vanilla. It's got a little twist to it.
If you could invent your own ice cream flavor, what would that be?
I would combine a pomegranate and maybe a white chocolate, I would say. I don't know if it would taste good, but I would try that.
Something with a whole lot of toppings, like chocolate chip with cookie dough and all that good stuff.
Merge butter pecan with like a coffee flavor and do something like that.
Maple syrup. I know it's weird, but like I love maple syrup, especially like on pancakes, eggs, anything. I love it. So I'd probably like a maple syrup flavor.
It would be corn dog flavor because growing up, I actually almost died choking on a corn dog. So it doesn't bring back great memories, but I still love to eat corn dogs.
So having a corn dog flavored ice cream would allow you to eat that corn dog flavor without having to worry about an actual corn dog.
Exactly, yeah.
And what's your least favorite ice cream flavor?
I guess I'd have to say chocolate. I'm not a chocolate fan, so that would be my least.
Mint chocolate chip, for sure.
Oh, my least favorite? Vanilla, plain vanilla. I have to have a little something extra.
That would be cherry. I don't really like cherries. It tastes nasty to me. So, yeah.
Oh, pistachio. Yeah, I did not like that at all. I tried it out, just did not find it appealing at all to me. So, yeah, I'd say that.
Do you prefer to eat your ice cream in a cup or in a cone?
Oh, it depends on the day, but during the summer, a cone, and when I'm at home, in a cup.
Cup, because you can get more in it. I don't like cones.
Definitely in a cone, just because you get more out of a cone than a cup. And you have to throw it away too, so.
Well, it looks like everyone's taste buds vary a little bit, with a lot of them liking some different flavors, and it looks like we've got some creative minds, and some of them thought of some really cool new flavors. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching this week's SoKY Speaks. Want to see discussed on SoKY Speaks, feel free to tweet me at TazeJoshi WNKY. We'll be back with a look at what's trending right after this break. Welcome back to SoKY Sunrise. Let's take a look at everything that is trending today. Who doesn't love ice cream? Check out this baby video gone massively viral. This is 9-month-old Blakely Rose Jernigan, and she is enjoying her first taste of ice cream and her first taste of viral fame. With her big wide smile and bugged out eyes, the video is now spreading across social media. And also trending this morning, we're getting closer to the end of time, at least according to scientists who evaluate several key factors. Thursday's reset of the Doomsday Clock symbolizes growing global concerns. The bulletin of the atomic scientists say the Doomsday Clock warns us about how close we are to destroying the Earth. Midnight on the clock symbolizes the end of the world, and now the hand is hovering just 100 seconds short of midnight. The main factors that determine how close we are to midnight: the threat of nuclear weapons and climate change. The last time the clock was reset was back in 2018. And also trending today, firefighters are warning parents about a viral challenge circulating on the social media app TikTok. It's called the Outlet Challenge. It involves partially inserting the plug of a cell phone charger into an outlet and sliding a penny down the wall onto the exposed prongs. This results in sparks and damage to the electrical system. In some cases, it could cause injuries, electrocution, or start a fire. At one high school, Massachusetts, 2 students were caught performing the prank. 2 electrical outlets were scorched. And also trending this morning, a Texas high school student is set to graduate in a few months. But DeAndre Arnold has faced discipline at school for his dreadlocks. DeAndre's family is from Trinidad. He says a lot of men in his culture grow their dreadlocks. His school recently changed their dress code policy, putting his ability to go to school and walk to graduation in jeopardy. DeAndre and his mother say they aren't planning to cut his hair anytime soon. Let's look at what's trending this morning. Stay tuned because SoKY Sunrise wraps up after this quick commercial break.
Welcome back to the end of your Feel Good Wake Up Show. As we head throughout the day today, we will be having those off and on showers. Should be able to catch a nice little decent dry break as we get towards about 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Then another round of those scattered showers will be happening later this afternoon and into this evening. We could be seeing some patches of fog developing as well in those drier breaks. We will be seeing this coming to an end throughout tonight. Could be seeing some sprinkles and a few flurries out there tonight and into tomorrow morning. We'll be seeing temperatures a little bit cooler for Saturday, maybe a few showers on Sunday, but temperatures rebound into those mid-40s and an unsettled week next week.
Thank you so much for that weather update, Christy. And I'm a big fan of vanilla ice cream. Do you guys have favorite ice cream flavors,
You know
Christy?
what? First of all, I have to say I'm quite surprised that your favorite is vanilla.
Sometimes I have to go to some things that are a little more basic, a little simple. I like the traditional
Okay.
vanilla.
Well, you can add a lot to vanilla. My
That's true.
favorite is mint chocolate chip.
What about you, Josh?
I would have to say Superman, not necessarily for the taste, but just because I like the way it's colored. I just think it looks really cool.
I did not know Superman was an ice cream flavor.
Yeah, I think they
thought he
have
was a superhero.
Was it Baskin Robbins or something?
Yeah,
that
it's
they
the
have
red,
it?
blue, and yellow. It looks
Yeah.
really cool.
Baskin Robbins does have a lot of interesting flavors. Now,
Yes.
you like mint chocolate chip. I'm not a huge fan of the mint mixed in with my ice cream. I get it, though.
I like it.
I understand the mint chocolate chip. Now, do you like it with a lot of mint or just a little bit of mint?
A lot of mint. You have to have a lot of mint.
Go big or go home,
Thank you
right?
guys so much for joining us today. Here's a preview of what's coming up next week on SoKY Sunrise. Next week on SoKY Sunrise, we meet one man who has found a fun metal-based hobby in retirement.
Plus, we're going to show you a fun way to golf in the winter.
And of course, we'll have another all-new SoKY Speaks. And this week, we're going to ask people when they fill up their gas tanks.
Also, we have some great interviews that are lined up.
That's right, we're going to speak with former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez.
And Paige Rogers will be here to talk about romance at the rail park.
Be sure to tune in Monday at 6 a.m. right here on WNKY NBC 40.